Good day, everyone. I am Raymond Alombro and Crisami Angeles, who will be reporting with me and will cover the topic about safety first aid and disaster preparedness. Um, what comes to your mind when you hear or read the word safety first aid? So we have two categories of safety first aid. The first one is safety. What is safety? Safety is a condition that gives you freedom from hazard, risk, and accident that may cause injury, damage, and loss material or property, damage, and even death. What is first aid? First aid is a temporary and immediate treatment given to patients of accident and sudden illness before medical aid is available. Then, we have six different situations that safety first aid is required. We have burns, bleeding, fractures, heart attack, snake bite, stinging, and other. So first one, we have the first aid for burn. Help the person to lie down horizontally on the floor. Do not allow the injured area to come into direct with the ground. Pour cold water into the burn for a minimum of 10 minutes. But at the same time, an arrangement of transport for taking the casualty to the hospital should be made. Continue calling the affected area until the pain is relieved. Gently remove any ring, watch, belt, and shoes before the tissues begin to swell. Carefully remove burn for clotting if it is not sticking to the skin. Remove the injured area while a sterile dressing to protect it from infection. Gathered and record the injury. Record the level of response, pulse, and breathing carefully. While waiting for the help to arrive, keep reassuring the casualty. In case of burn in face, please do not cover the injury because it may cause discomfort to the victim. Keep calling the area till the doctors arrive. Second one is the first aid for bleeding. Clean the cuts with cotton balls and apply the antiseptic cream for minor cuts. Apply the bandage according the size of the wound or cut cause. In case of deep cut, to avoid further bleeding, rise the cut part, wash with some antiseptic lotions, apply some antiseptic cream, cover the wound with cotton wool and tie tightly with some bandage. When tissue becomes injured under the skin, blood vessels break and blood oozes out into the surrounding area. The affected area becomes dark and creates bluish black marks. These are called bruises. In such cases, the application of ice pack is useful to discolor and remove the swelling. A tetanus injection should be given if required. First aid for fractures. Lay down the person comfortably in the ground and try to comfort the initial shock. Support the injured parts immediately so that no movements occur. Do not handle the fractures unnecessarily. Never attempt to bring the bones to a normal positions or reduce the fractures. Give support to a fractured part with stick and bandage and take the injured person to the nearby hospital. First aid for the heart attack. Do not overcrowd the patients. Make the person lie down on the floor and loosen the clothes. Give aspirin tablet immediately if available. Compress and push hard and fast on the victim's chest, like doing a CPR. Tilt the victim's head back and lift the chin to open the airway. In high-risk cases, give mouth-to-mouth and rescue breaths. First aid for the bite snake. Squeeze out some blood from the bitten part. Tie tourniquet very tightly above the bitten part to prevent the flow of poisonous blood upward. First aid for stinging. Try to pull out the sting by pressing the wound with two fingers to squeeze out the poisonous blood. Apply some alkali such as baking soda to neutralize the acidic effect of the sting. So we have safety first aid for the eye injuries. Do not rub with your hands. Wash with clean water by sprinkling and press softly with a clean handkerchief. Blow the hot air on a cotton clothes and keep on the eyes to reduce the swelling. First aid box. Siguro alam naman ng lahat kung ano ang laman nito, but in the case, very important na kung ano ang laman dito sa first aid is which is scissors, bandage, cotton pads, antiseptic solutions, tourniquet, um, aspirin, painkillers, triangular bandage, safety pins, and adhesive tape. Then we have advantages for the first aid. One, the basic recovery from the illness and injuries. Two, the survival rate is high if first aid is given on time to the victim. Third, first aid prevents the worsening of the life of a respective person. Fourth, it limits the death rates. Fifth, first aid prevents deterioration. What to have during emergencies? First aid kit, flashlights, candles, matches, spare batteries, portable radio, whistle, cell phone, portable drinking water in sealed containers, non-perishable foodstuff, blankets, clean clothes, raincoats, rubber boots, tissue paper, and other sanitary supplies. Money, large and sturdy plastic bags that can be used to store and protect various important items and documents. What comes to your mind when you hear or read the words disaster preparedness?
Disaster preparedness consists of a set of measures undertaken in advance by government organizations, communities, or individuals to better respond and cope with the immediate aftermath of a disaster, whether it be human-induced or caused by natural hazards. The objective is to reduce the loss of life and livelihoods. Disaster preparedness plays an important role in building the resilience of communities. So before all else, I will be presenting some preparation for each disaster like an earthquake. An earthquake is an intense shaking of the Earth's surface. It is caused by movements in the Earth's outermost layer. These are some of the things that you should do before, during, and after an earthquake. Before, first is to plan. Second is to prepare your place of work and residence for the disaster. Familiarize yourself with your place of work and residence. Conduct and participate in regular earthquake drills. During, stay calm. If you are inside a structurally sound building, stay there. If you are outside, move to an open area. After, once the shaking stops, take the fastest and safest way out of the building. Check your surroundings. Help reduce the number of casualties from the earthquake. Volcanic eruption. A volcanic eruption is when lava and gas are released from a volcano, sometimes explosively. There will be an ashfall after a volcanic eruption. So here are the things you should consider doing before, during, and after an ashfall. Before, when there is an impending eruption that may cause ashfall, listen to the radio for updates. Prepare a gas mask or clean cloth For covering the nose, candles, matches, flashlights, and extra batteries. Put these things in an accessible place. Touring. Stay calm. Cover your nose and mouth with a damp, clean cloth or gas mask. Listen to the radio for updates or developments regarding the volcanic eruption. Keep your pets in the shelter or inside the house to keep them from inhaling ash. Close all windows and doors of your house. After, as soon as the ashfall tapers, scrape off the ashfall that has accumulated on rooftops to prevent the collapse of houses. After removing the ash, clean the roof and gutter with water. Wash all fruits and vegetables thoroughly before eating. Use a vacuum cleaner or shake ash loose from the furniture before dusting them. Cover your nose and mouth while cleaning. To remove ash from glass, windows, and doors, use a water hose before washing them with soap and lukewarm water. A thunderstorm is a violent local atmospheric disturbance accompanied by lightning, thunder, and heavy rain, often with a strong gusts of wind and sometimes by hail. Before, you need to plan ahead of time what you will do when severe weather strikes your area. Have an emergency plan. Listen to local news and weather reports. Make a personalized preparedness emergency kit. Once a storm has started, there are additionally safety measures to take. These include, if you are inside, avoid using electrical equipments and telephones. Use battery-operated devices instead, like flashlights. Close outside doors and windows and keep away from windows. Stay inside for 30 minutes after the last thunder. If you are outside, avoid sheltering under trees, posts, fences, equipment as they attract lighting. Get out of open fields. Stay away from water. After, be sure the storm is over before you head out of your shelter. Avoid storm-damaged areas to keep from putting yourself at risk. Stay away from downed power lines and report them immediately. Typhoon is a type of large storm system having a circular or spiral system of violent winds, typically hundreds of kilometers or miles in diameter. Before, have a disaster plan. Know where all the evacuation routes are. Have enough food and water for at least 3 days, including a first aid kit. During, stay away from low-lying and flood-prone areas. If your home isn't on higher ground, go to a shelter. After, check for injured or trapped people without putting yourself in danger. Watch out for flooding, which can happen after a typhoon. Stay away from standing water. It may be electrically charged from underground or down power lines.
Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you learned something in our lesson. If you have clarifications or any questions, just comment below.